Hello again and welcome to the SOFiCAD video documentation. In this chapter, I will show you how to lay and define meshes in SOFiCAD. Meshes can be laid in three ways: as single mesh, as mesh row, or as mesh field. I start by creating a single mesh. On the input menu, we have to select the mesh type. Next we press OK and place the mesh. For placing meshes we can choose between using formwork lines or free points by activating the eye cursor. The grip point also can be selected clicking on one of the points of the mesh symbol. To place the mesh, we select two reference lines, one for each axis. A single mesh can be transformed into a mesh row just by stretching one of its grip points. Every time we do that, SOFiCAD offers us several laying configurations to choose. In the same way, a mesh row can be transformed into a mesh field. We can modify the laying, or any other property through the Info Edit menu. Using the command explode we can reverse this process and transform fields into rows and rows into single meshes. Through Info Edit, we can choose between displaying a whole row or every mesh individually. We can also create a mesh field directly without having to start with a single mesh, using the command, mesh general. For polygonal areas, the quickest option is the command polygonal mesh layout. With this tool we can select a closed area and automatically generate a mesh field, that can be optimized according these four criteria. Additionally, the polygonal mesh field offers the option of delete or edit individual meshes. This command can be found in the Contextual tab. Stirrup meshes are also supported. The workflow for stirrup meshes is very similar to that of reinforcement bars. First, we define the shape of the mesh using formwork lines. After that, we lay the stirrup mesh using the command mesh row. We start by selecting the mark we want to place, and then its view. In this example we want to represent the top view of the mesh, so our mesh row will be 1 meter wide. As we see 12.9 meshes are needed. A bespoke mesh mark for the decimal stretch can be defined. In this process, we create a new detail shape for the new mesh mark, and the corresponding single mesh next to the row. Now we have exactly 12 meshes in Mark 25 and 1 in Mark 26. The available mesh types are determined by the country settings we are using. For example, right now I am working with the German settings. If I switch to the USA standard, the set of meshes to use will change. The definition of the meshes for each standard is saved in the corresponding INI file. If we need to edit an existing type or add new ones, we can do it modifying the ini file. Those can be found in the installation folder of SOFiCAD. In case we need non-standardized mesh types, which geometrical definition must be specified in the reinforcement schedule, we can define them using the command list meshes. A requirement to use this command is to link our DWG file with a database. A database can be easily created with the SOFiCAD title block. Just enter a project name and save the drawing. Once we have a database, the list mesh command can be called. Then we have to enter the mesh parameter we need, and hit the OK button. Now the defined mu type has been added to the list of available mesh types. When we produce a reinforcement schedule, the definition table of list meshes will be created. In case we need an irregular mesh configuration, this can be achieved through the command, drawing mesh. We start out with a template mesh so similar as possible to that final mesh we need. After calling the command and selecting the template mesh, the sketch mode will be activated. Now we can proceed with the modifications. When we are all done, we select complete and name the new mesh type. The mesh dimensions can be switched on and off in every instance of the mesh type. Like the other mesh types, the one we have created is immediately ready to use in our project and will be exported in the reinforcement schedule. I hope you have found useful the system that SOFiCAD offers in order to create mesh fields and define new mesh types. In the next chapter I am going to show you how to modify labels and the graphical configuration of the reinforcement elements in SOFiCAD. Thank you for watching this tutorial.